is going to be found behind the trachea. So this is the long tube that goes from the mouth all the way down to the stomach. This is your esophagus. Okay. Parietal peritoneum. If we remember that below the diaphragm, all of the organs are in the abdominal cavity. The parietal peritoneum then is going to be the membrane that lines the wall of the cavity. And the visceral peritoneum is going to be the membranes that tightly attach to the organs. Okay. Next is greater omentum. And this is this large sheet of fat that lays over, covers the entire intestinal area. And then a portion of that greater omentum that's found between the spleen, this is your spleen, this is your stomach, the portion that's found between those two organs is called the gastrosplenic ligament. So it's just like a continuation of the greater omentum, but it's between the stomach and the spleen, so that's the gastrosplenic ligament. Okay, mesentery, we're calling the mesentery in general. That is this very thin saran wrap-like structure that's found between the intestines, kind of helps to hold the intestines together. Okay, liver. Here is your liver, this big organ right here. And the falciform ligament, I didn't see if there's one on this cat. Okay, there is. You're going to find that between the diaphragm and the liver, this membrane right in here. This one's torn, but this is your falciform ligament. Now, I don't know. I think we can see a tiny little, if you look closely, a tiny little, usually I see this on the edge, but on this one it looks like right here. This is the remnant of the umbilical vein. Okay, that is the round ligament. Very hard to see. Okay, then we have the gallbladder. That is this green organ right here. And this one looks like it's dissected out pretty well. So we follow the gallbladder back, and this area right here would be the cystic duct. Okay, and then coming off the liver, right here, and you can see that it should be green, but it's covered by a little bit of tissue. You can see a little bit of green right here. This is your common hepatic duct right here. And then right here is where they merge, and then they become the common bile duct, okay, which then empties into the small intestine. Okay, so can somebody flip the page here? I want to see what's next on the list. Okay, so we got common hepatic, we got common bile. Okay, here is, go ahead and hold that back too, Mary. Okay, here's your stomach right here. Okay, the cardiac region is, the esophagus is right up in this region. Right where the esophagus connects with the stomach is the cardiac region right here. Okay, the fundus is the upper domed portion. The main portion is the body. Where it narrows, this is the pyloric region. Okay, there's something called the pyloric sphincter where we can see a constriction right about here. Okay, this is the pylorus of the stomach. This is the duodenum of the first part of the small intestine. I don't know if I can, if you open this up, you got enough hands? Okay, right in this region right here is the pyloric sphincter, right where the pylorus meets the duodenum. Right in this region is going to be the pyloric sphincter. Okay, so rugae are found on the inside of the stomach. Those are the wrinkles. Okay, and then we have the small intestine coming right off the stomach. The first portion is the duodenum. Some say duodenum. Okay, the jejunum is just the middle portion, anything that is tagged in the middle. Okay, now, if we, let's see if I can follow this around. Okay, all right, so the end portion, if we just tag it at the end when we get towards the large intestine. This is going to be the ileum. Okay, now we've come to the large intestine. And the cat's large intestine is so small that when we try to lay it out and see ascending, transverse, and descending, they're so small it's kind of hard to tell. But here we find this pouch at the beginning. This is the cecum. Okay, we open it up. Yeah, and right there is your ileocecal valve. Okay, so I don't know if I can lay this, because you see from here to here, this is your large intestine, so it's really kind of hard to tell. We're going to say that this little piece right here is ascending, this is transverse, and then this is descending. Okay, the rectum says not seen until the pelvic cavity is open. This particular one is not open, but the rectum is going to be the vertical portion right in this region right here. Okay, and then the anus is going to be the opening to the outside, which I'm not going to look too hard for. You know where that is, okay? All right, so has this guy got his pancreas intact?